And welcome everybody to the Daily Wrap. I'm your host / ringleader Joe Concha. And joining me tonight on the show, our first ever. She's funny, she's smart, she looks great in glasses. It's Catherine Timpf, the F's standing for phenomenal. Catherine, welcome. Yes. And our token liberal from Forbes magazine. He also works security downstairs because he's on here so much.
Hey, you do what you got to do.
Up and down the elevator. Very good. He's also the co-host of Steel and Unger on Sirius XM Radio. And overall, a comic book nerd. Rick Unger!
Don't even go there.
Well,
Don't even go to the comic book thing.
Too soon. And finally.
Too soon.
She's a viper in the courtroom by day, and she loves cheesesteak as well, meaning she must be from Philadelphia, must be an Eagles and Flyers fan, currently living in New York. Attorney Heather Hansen, welcome as well.
Good to be here.
And this is the Daily Wrap, everybody, and let's first go to the Daily Download. And just to give you a little information, the Daily Download features our top story of the day. And today, of course, and we've all been watching all afternoon, the confirmation hearing of Attorney General candidate Loretta Lynch, who is set to replace, thank God, outgoing Attorney General Eric Holder. Yes, that was not impromptu. It took no time before Loretta Lynch was questioned on the legality of President Obama's executive order on immigration. Let's roll that.
Would you take action against an employer who says, no, I prefer to hire somebody that came to the country lawfully rather than someone given executive amnesty by the president? Would the Department of Justice take action against them?
When you answer that, I'll move on then.
Thank you, sir. With respect to the provision about temporary deferral, I did not read it as providing a legal amnesty, that is, that permanent status there, but a temporary deferral. With respect to whether or not those individuals would be able to seek redress for employment discrimination, if that is the purpose of your question, again, I haven't studied that legal issue. I certainly think you raise an important point and would look forward to discussing it with you and using and relying upon your thoughts and experience as we consider that.
So, an interesting day, to say the least, regarding Ms. Lynch. I would say it looks like she's probably...
She did well.
I absolutely agree with that. So let's start with the lawyer first. Does she get confirmed?
By the way, the lawyer has to talk into my microphone because hers is not working at this very moment.
Or just an excuse for you to get closer.
I'm just turning right into it.
We'll just cuddle up a little bit. I think she's definitely going to get confirmed. She's got some good questions, some good answers. And ultimately, the big question was, you're not Eric Holder. And her answer was yes. And I think ultimately, that is really what everybody out there is looking for right now. There's been so many issues with him, and they're looking to bring somebody new on.
Yeah, I saw, I think it was trending on Twitter at one point, hashtag Abe, anybody but Eric Holder.
She was brilliant in the way she handled the question about immigration, which I thought might end up tubing her because she'd be obligated to say, yes, I agree with the president who's appointed me. But what she did instead was she said, I've read the memos, they seem reasonable to me, but never said that she agreed with everything. And in fact, she said some of the things struck her as legal, some of the things struck her as questionable. Perfect answers. She's doing this absolutely beautifully.
So not speaking in absolutes.
Everyone will hate her within a couple months, I'm sure.
Really?
Everyone always finds a reason to hate anybody. Well, yeah, right? That's our job as citizens, to find things to hate about people that are in power.
Interesting.
Keep them from getting too powerful.
So the question is, though, she talks about amnesty, and the question was, is it legal? In other words, let's say...
No, I know, I agree. I think that she handled it really, really well. It's an inflammatory question. I'm sure everybody was coming in there ready to go with that one, but we really do need somebody else right now. Not Eric Holder. Going to be the bar set very, very low.
Are you supporting
I think,
her?
For what is sure.
Sure.
I don't like her. I don't like her not wanting to legalize marijuana. I think that's a bad sign of an individual. Doesn't appreciate personal freedom.
But you understand what the people on that panel, the Republicans, would have said if she said she did want to legalize it.
I know, but isn't that so twisted that that's the point of view they accept? But that's just
I don't think it was the major issue here. You're talking about immigration. You're talking about
it's criminal justice reform.
Well, right, but it wasn't even on the top of her list. I mean, she's got a really great background in terrorism and trying those types of cases. I think she's got the best background since anybody since 9/11.
More than anybody.
So that's the stuff that she's focused on. She's going to focus on her strengths. I agree with you, Catherine, that in that area, she's a little iffy, but she's going to stay away from that.
Rick, another question that came up, and it came from Lindsey Graham, and I asked this of you. He's a senator, a Republican.
worst.
And he asked Ms. Lynch to differentiate between gay marriage and polygamy. Now, somebody who has participated in both at one time in your life.
In polygamy and gay marriage?
That from what I've read, yes. if you can confirm that or not.
Better be careful. My wife's a Mormon.
Oh, well.
See?
You learn
See?
something new every day
Better
in the
be
Daily
careful. And
Wrap.
she's watching, and she knows where you live.
No question. Is that an appropriate question that we heard today?
No, it wasn't. And it makes all the sense in the world that it would come from Lindsey Graham, who seems to have lost his mind in the past couple of years. Almost everything that comes out of his mouth is either inappropriate or just crazy. So it's not that shocking. Of course it was inappropriate. And, she's not on the Supreme Court. It may have been close to an appropriate question when you're confirming a justice for the Supreme Court who's going to rule and tell us something about what they think about same-sex marriage. This has nothing to do with her. All these issues are now state issues. These are all state legislation, either by legislation, by judicial decree, or by voting that happened. It's got nothing to do with the United States Attorney General. It was the show part. A lot of it was
I'm
show.
surprised.
To Catherine's point, I think they're looking for a reason to hate her.
Yeah.
They're trying to bring something out that's going to be sort of spicy, because other than that she's not giving him a whole lot to play with.
Catherine, give me the legacy of Eric Holder now that it looks like he'll finally be gone. What will he be remembered for?
I mean,
most
it's
as Attorney
pathetic.
General?
Scandals, being a criminal. It's about as bad as it could possibly be. The mustache probably though too. I don't know.
Never trust a guy with a mustache.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, sometimes maybe, but not that guy. I mean, I think the bar is really low for her, kind of like how when Obama came into office, everyone expected him to change the whole universe, and so really easy to hate him. Not that he's done a good job, but regardless, for her, it's going to be the opposite of that. So I
You
feel
think
like
so?
she'll have a much easier time because he was so bad.
The bar is set so low.
Yeah,
that
his
you
legacy is going to
possibly-
be the best thing that can happen to
Everybody likes
whoever's
to
next.
bash poor Eric Holder.
He's
Not
a
you,
criminal.
No,
15 seconds.
I think he was actually a pretty good AG, all in all. I didn't agree with everything that he did, and I think he should have been more independent. This is my biggest knock on him. But he still did some pretty good things as the Attorney General.
Like what?
Heather, last word.
Like what?
There's no time.
Like, what is your last word, everybody?
What?
So we got to go to break. But coming up next, we serve our political potluck. Don't go away. The Daily Wrap continues right after this.